Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Outer Worlds. My name's Camel, and today I'll be showing you how to acquire the unique stun baton, known as the Shock Stick. It's right at the start of the game, and it will serve as a fairly decent melee weapon for the coming levels, and especially against those pesky robots. Now you can also charge your phone with it, which is useful. Now along with the acquisition, we'll also be taking a long look at the shocking stats. Now a timestamp for the overview can be found down in the description, along with my Outer Worlds playlist where you can find all the other videos I've done on the game and my social media links. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram after this video. So let's get this zappy boy, shall we? Now right at the start of the game, we'll be on Terra 2 in the zone known as the Emerald Vale. Here, the main city/town is Edgewater. We'll want to come here. But instead of actually going into the township itself, we'll need to go around the back, towards the ocean. Here we can find the Edgewater landing pad. Now if for some magical reason you can't find it, it's right here on the map in the southeastern corner of the Emerald Vale. Once we get here, we'll need to find this bloke who patrols the entrance, Ludwig Miller. Oi mate.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff.
What are you babbling about?
The war! The coming apocalypse! Man versus machine! I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
Quite frankly, I don't know what you're talking about.
Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
Look, if your resistance needs another gun, I am for hire.
I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saltuna cans mostly, some Spacer's chaw, few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid.
Proper armies pay enlistment fees, you know.
Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the resistance a bad name.
What do you need done?
They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
Okay, I'll be back in almost literally a minute. So now, if we go to our journal, in the side quest tab, we'll see that we now have Die Robot. We want to make this our active quest, so that the quest markers show up for us. So from here, we need to run around to the northern side of Edgewater's exterior to the scrapyard out the back. Again, it's literally a 30-second jog. As soon as we arrive, we'll see the clearly marked auto-mechanical. Kill it. Now that it's a pile of nuts and bolts, we just need to head back to Ludwig and let him know. Again, it's about 30 seconds away. Hey copper.
Bring us honor, soldier.
You won't have to worry about that scout anymore.
You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
You hid your secret weapon in the throne room?
Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter.
Alright, I'll hit you up if I find it.
On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
See ya, boy. So now we have to head into the town of Edgewater. Once in here, we need to head to the cantina. Walk inside, head straight into the bathroom, where behind the toilet, sure enough, we can find Ludwig's bundle. We need to grab it and head back to Ludwig and let him know that we found the present that he left in the bog.
Bring us honor, soldier.
I found that package you mentioned.
Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit. designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig.
Alright, so what's next, big fella?
Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
Don't worry about that. I've already got a passcode from Reed.
I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
Seems simple enough.
If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of zero-G to your memory.
Okay, see you later, alligator. If you don't have the passcode from Reed Thompson, just walk into Edgewater and go to the cannery, take the elevator up to his office and speak to him. You should already have the passcode, as it's literally the first main quest we get, which sends us to him to get the passcode so we can rewrite the power and do all that cool stuff. But anyway, once we're set, we'll need to head northwest to the geothermal power plant. Just a warning, on your way here, be sure to watch out for marauders and primals, they lurk in the shadows. Now on the map, we can see that the geothermal power plant is found here, up in the northwest. Just look for the giant factory with cinders spewing from the chimneys. Now there are two holes in the fence here. We can enter through either to gain entry, as the security fence will be active. Inside we'll find robots. I'd advise bringing a weapon that does shock damage. If you want to be safe or you're having trouble with the robot friends here, I didn't, I just blew them apart with normal guns. Anyway, once outside is cleared, we'll need to head inside. And just so you know, I've already removed all the enemies from the interior just to make this run a lot smoother. But you will be encountering robots inside. Okay, so once we're inside, we need to run straight ahead and go down the stairs. We can see the quest marker on the left, however, it's behind a locked door. We need the key card, so we need to turn around, go through this unlocked door. In here, jump onto the terminal and click the unlock door option and then enter the passcode. That's the one we got from Reed. Now when we exit the terminal, we will see that this door over here has opened. We need to run through there. Now once we're in this room, turn to the right, go down the stairs, then go through this door on the right, then run all the way to the back of the room, where in the back left corner there is a set of glowy stairs. Run up these. Once at the top, turn to the left, and against the window we'll see an overturned table. Behind the overturned table is the security chief. On their body is the geothermal security chief's keycard. This is the thing we need to open the locked door. So of course, grab it and then head back to the locked door that we needed the keycard for. Open the door, and then inside on a shelf we will find the logic module, the very one that Ludwig wanted us to grab. So grab it. Once we have that, all we need to do is head back to the Edgewater landing pad and to Ludwig. G'day, big fella.
Bring us honor, soldier.
Now you mentioned a logic module. Well, I just found one at the geothermal plant.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple of bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Cheers, big ears. Take care, Garnier. Now, as a reward for our efforts, we'll receive a unique weapon that would have been very useful for the quest we just did. As we can see in our inventory, we now have the Shock Stick. Its flavor text is incredibly insightful and informs us of the inner mathematical workings of the Shock Stick, and I quote, "This is way better than a normal stun baton." So, now we'll compare the Shock Stick's stats with those of the base weapon, the Stun Baton. And while some of the values you'll see here might differ from what you see in your game, depending on your specific character's build, the difference between the two weapon stats is relevant and will scale accordingly. So the first thing we'll notice is that the Shock Stick has a base damage of 53, which is clearly superior over the Stun Baton's base damage of 42. But the Shock Stick not only has a higher base damage, it also bears a faster swing speed. It hits more often than the default Stun Baton. This combination of higher base damage and higher swing speed means the base DPS of the shock stick towers above the stun baton. Now the base DPS, or base damage per second, of the shock stick is 131, leaving the stun baton's base DPS of 89 in the shadows. The shock stick delivers roughly 47% more damage than the stun baton does, clearly making it the weapon of choice between the two. So the shock stick, kind of annoyingly, will be outdone by other more powerful one-handed melee weapons before we really get to use it again. I mean, you can use it against anything you like, but of course it does shock damage, so it's perfect for killing robots. However, we don't really encounter any robots after this quest for a while, or at least not soon enough to make the shock stick the weapon of choice, aka you'll definitely have a better melee weapon at that point. So you get given the perfect weapon for the job after doing the job, and that very weapon, the shock stick, will be made redundant before we get to fight more robots with it. It just seems silly to me. You know, honestly, I'm a little shocked. But if you're like me and you have a crippling addiction to unique items, then acquiring this is a must, and I highly recommend you get this thing. Personally, I think a really good use for it is to club Ludwig to death for not giving it to us before fighting a legion of robots, the big dummy. Now, you know, there are other things you can do with it. I think sitting on it will be the most fun you'll have, to be honest. Now, sadly, it does not appear to have any unique physical features, and unlike its stats, aesthetically it's identical to the stun baton. Which, given Obsidian's work in the past with Fallout New Vegas, where they made every unique weapon actually look unique, I'm stunned. Anyway, here it is, the new dust collector and phone charger in action, the shock stick.
We got this! That's the last of them!
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Camel, and this has been my guide for the unique stun baton, the shock stick. I do hope this video helped you out, and if it did, you'll be very interested in checking out my other Outer Worlds videos that I've already done. Links to them can be found down in the description. Now down there, in the old description, you can also find my social media links. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Now if you would like to support the channel in a more personal way, you can become a patron on Patreon or a sponsor of the channel right here on YouTube. As I'm sure you know, all of my time and energy goes into making these videos that I create for you to enjoy, so your support is most appreciated and welcomed in any and all forms. So thank you very much for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. I'll see you there soon.